listening to Who's Tom and Dick, a weekly podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers, fighting stage 4 lung cancer, and Patrick Mortimer, living with heart disease. Why not grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy the chatter as we discuss and share information, talking about tough subjects, and offering help, support, and motivation with a positive mental attitude.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Who's Tom and Dick, and we're back again on this bright and sunny morning, loving the summer, and I'm with my old mate Martin sitting beside me, and we're doing this live from the garden this week. Live from the garden. We're taking advantage of this summer, aren't we?
Yeah, 2 weeks on the trot now.
You know, it's you've got to take advantage of it, mate.
Oh God, yeah. We was indoors a long time in the winter, weren't we?
Yeah. So anyway, we've got no guests this week, so we thought we'd have a chat about men's mental health awareness.
And we will one day talk about women's as well, so it's not just...
Well, I dare say a lot of this comes into play for both sexes.
Yeah.
Or should I say all sexes now, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should.
To be politically correct.
We won't name them all because we're bound to forget one and they're going to complain.
Yes. And anyway, I'm going to go through a bit of a list of men's mental health.
So what we're going to talk about then, Pat?
We're going to talk about men's mental health.
Right. I'll let you lead the questions then.
Mental health awareness. So we're going to discuss the importance of mental health for men, including anxiety, depression, stress management techniques, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
Does that bring you in anywhere?
Well, I don't suffer from depression or anxiety, really. Now and again, I get a bit of stress, but I'm sure we're going to hit on those things later on. So,
do you have mood changes?
Well,
can you be in a good mood? Can you be in a bad mood?
Linny said I got up out of bed the wrong side on Saturday, so she didn't ask me any more questions. And I told her it was because she kept asking me all questions and I was trying to read. Right. So I wasn't actually in a bad mood, but you know, when you're trying to read and you have to put your hand on where you are, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. And then you read a bit more. And I said, I'm reading. So she said, oh, God, you're like a bear with a sore head. So...
Well, yeah, that's one thing. But I mean, do you have mood swings? You know, do you day do you get up and you feel...
No.
And another day you get up and feel...
No, I don't know if it's luck or what, but I never have it. And I feel sorry for people who do because, you know, and I don't think, oh, God, well, I don't have them. Why have you got them? Because we're all different. So that's one thing I don't think. But I do thank whoever... the Lord or whatever.
Thank the Lord.
Praise
the Lord.
That I don't have mood swings. I'm always happy.
You can't always be happy.
I am. Have you ever known me sad and bad? Sad and bad.
Arsenal losing.
Oh, yeah, I have a mood then.
Yeah. See, that was just one comment I made there about, you know.
Yeah, but we're talking about health, aren't we, really?
Well, we are, but I mean, all comes back to mental health, doesn't it? And this is the severity of mood swings. You know, some people have moods, some people have really bad moods.
I don't really get in a mood.
No, you don't wake up in the morning or at any time of the day and just think.
Actually, I'm going to tell you the truth. I actually woke up this morning and I looked out of my window at my lovely garden where we're sitting now, and I looked around. And I thought, do you know what? I don't feel as good today as I have felt the last few days. Well, I haven't felt brilliant, but I'm still not feeling good, and I'm getting frustrated for that. And I thought, no, positive mental attitude. Patrick's coming round. We're doing the podcast, and then now I'm sitting here in the garden, and it's lovely. So all those thoughts have gone.
So you don't get a time when, say, for argument's sake, you've got things mounting up. I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and this, and this. And they start to mount up so much you feel, I've got this weight on my shoulders that I've got to get through.
No.
I've got immunotherapy on Monday. I've got blood tests on Tuesday. I've got this on Wednesday. I've got this on Thursday. You don't feel, this is going to be a hard week.
No, I do look at it sometimes and think, God, I wish I hadn't got such a full week.
Yeah.
I do that. And then I looked this week and I thought, I've only got Tuesday that's really, really busy. The rest of the week I'm fine. And all I've got to do is take the car for a service.
Yeah,
that's all, and go to the theatre in the evening with you.
Well,
that's as full as it is on Tuesday.
As I cut my way through the lawn to get to the chair this morning, you did say you're going to cut the grass this afternoon. Do you enjoy cutting the grass? I
said I was going to cut it last week.
Well, yeah.
I do, and you hit the nail on the head when you said you've got little bits of your garden, So what I do, I normally cut a bit, leave it, and then go for a cup of tea or whatever. Might come back and cut another bit and do it over a couple of days. So I don't rush, Yeah,
but, totally off piste here. Do you collect the grass actually?
No, actually, my cutter actually cuts it, mulches it, and it goes back again.
Yeah, that's laziness, really. Then isn't it? I collect all my grass. Anyway,
really?
We're straying from
you don't swap it with people.
It goes in a brown bin and is collected every third Friday.
Oh, I'm too tight to have a brown bin.
Yeah. Well, you got a field behind. You can chuck yours over the hedge.
I don't think that my farmer will be very pleased with that.
You got a lovely hedge going down one side. I must say, that's a pity about the top of it.
Yeah, I've cut my side and my top and gone to the middle, but next door doesn't seem to do much about theirs.
Anyway, we're digressing, Martin.
Yeah,
we're talking about mental health here, aren't we?
We are, yeah. You're doing it.
I know. So what about, we've discussed sort of depression, mood swings, that sort of thing to a certain extent. So we're convinced that both of us don't really suffer from depression. I have mood swings. I think that's really only about the way I feel. Sometimes I'll get up one morning, I don't feel my old self, and I just think, I've got bits and pieces I want to do, and I just don't feel like doing them. And
well, I've known you since 1993, and I've never really known you in a bad mood.
No.
I worked for you.
Grumpy occasionally, I suppose.
All right then.
Yeah. Grumpy sometimes.
No, you weren't. You're not really grumpy, and I don't think it's an act that you put on.
No.
It's just you. I think that's why we get on so well, and we did for our comedy. We just and how we think alike. You sent me a picture yesterday of a bridge, and you said, "Why don't you build one of them in your garden, didn't you?"
Yeah.
Or get one built. And the funny thing was, I'd done one in my last garden. So our minds, they say great minds think alike. Well, our minds do think a lot alike. Yep. So that's probably why we get on, and we're not grumpy.
We're not going to get a Nobel Peace Prize, though, are we? I don't think.
I don't think so.
We could try, or a knighthood.
No,
that wouldn't be a bad idea if Charlie's listening.
Yeah, that's right.
A knighthood. Sir Martin Weavers.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Any old gong will do. An old big head.
Big head.
OBE.
Yeah. Moving on to nutrition and diet. This is all part of the mental health issues. Exploring dietary needs specific to men, including discussions on protein intake, supplements, and meal planning. Well,
do you take proteins?
No, I take some vitamins.
Yeah.
That I'm short of, like vitamin D and although this time of the year, get the sun and all this sort of thing, you should be able to get all your vitamins naturally, shouldn't you? But I do take a couple of vitamins. I don't go mad on vitamins. Do you take vitamins?
Yeah. Lady where Linny works, her husband started taking them, and she had a packet. And anyway, I brought them home and said, "Oh God, I won't want them." Anyway, I'd started taking them. I got to admit, I don't feel any different to what I had before I had them.
Yeah.
But I still take them each day, and we got on one of the sites where you can buy stuff, and we bought another packet. So I suppose I fell into that little thing where, people buy these things and they might be doing me good, I don't know, but I had to ask my oncology team first.
Yeah. Dietary needs, that's associated with mental health, apparently.
Do you have a special diet? You watch what you eat?
I'm supposed to watch what I eat. I don't watch what I eat as well as I should do. Wendy actually has the perfect heart health diet. She eats a lot of fish and that sort of thing.
So and I don't like fish.
No, nor do I, really. And I have the opposite. I could do like me old Sunday roasts, a fry-up and all that sort of thing. I don't have a fry-up, but I like all that sort of thing, chocolate.
Do you not have a fry-up now?
No, I might if we go on holiday. And there's cooked breakfast.
Yeah.
Then I'll have a treat. But I do like my roast, I must say.
Well, we're going out next weekend, aren't we, for coffee and
Cake? Coffee and cake?
Yeah.
Well, then I will succumb to a bit of, my favourite is coffee and walnut.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So
I can eat any cake, but coffee and walnut I struggle to walk past. Yeah. We had donuts at football this week.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bet you thought of me.
Yeah. They're not very nice donuts, and one of the guys on the table, we've been moaning about the food that we get at the football. You know, we're paying a lot more for it this season, and we expected it to go up a notch, but it's actually come down a notch, I think. It's a very good main course, 9 times out of 10. But these donuts, well, I mean, one of the guys, because we're on a table of 10 now, one of the guys sat opposite me, and he said, "Oh no, not donuts again." So we're not, me and Martin aren't thinking the same. But everybody on the table seems to be thinking about
this
the same.
Is Martin, who's Patrick's son, not Martin, who's me.
Yes, so we're both thinking the same.
Yeah.
And this guy comes straight out with it, and everybody on the table laughed. They take most on back, so you'd have thought they'd have got the hint that they weren't very good, wouldn't you?
Well, I follow a certain diet when I have my immunotherapy or chemotherapy, because there's certain things that I can't eat.
Yeah.
And I don't want to eat, and I go off, and I've actually lost, and you haven't noticed it, and I'm going to have to tell you now, I've lost just under a stone since I last saw you. When we did that talk at the Sport and Memories Club.
Just over a stone.
Just under a stone. Just under a stone, yeah.
Correct.
But you haven't noticed it. So that's gone.
That's because you wear baggy clothes, Martin.
I know, I do.
You hide your figure.
I do.
You hide it well.
I had to.
You're not the hourglass figure you used to have.
No, God, no. I'll never get back to that. I was 12 and a half stone then. Yeah. In Benidorm, and I really liked how I was. But it's funny enough, I was talking to Linny, and I said I might just do what I want to do and let myself go. I did with my diet.
This is going to be interesting.
And yeah, why? Why think? Oh, I'm not going to eat that because it's going to put a few pounds on.
Yeah,
I'm not going to. But I'll eat that because that'll make me lose a bit of weight. And then I thought, why the hell have I want to leave my life at 64 years old?
Yeah,
keep doing that, But then I don't want to be a big barrel.
No.
So I probably will stay as I am. But yeah, as for diets, we were talking about diets. I eat a lot of eggs when I have the first week of chemo because I can't taste nothing for a start. So that changes my diet altogether. Boiled eggs with the crusts cut off. Linny cuts some off for me. She looks after me.
You're soldiers.
You little soldiers, yeah, they are. And a poached egg on toast. So it's very eggy.
Eggy, yeah.
But that's the only time I'm, on a special diet. And then weeks 2 and 3, I like to eat what I can.
Well, I have to rule out as much fat as I can. Sticky stuff like butter, cheese, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's not good for the heart. Fried food, baked potatoes are fine, but roast potatoes are not. All that sort of thing.
And they're one of the best things of a roast.
They are. But I have to try and rule out all that sort of thing. Chocolate. It's impossible for me. Because I love it so much. I do try.
I think until I have a heart attack, I'll still carry on doing what I'm doing and won't worry.
Yeah, that's not really the attitude.
I know.
But once you've had a heart attack, that should reinforce the situation. But
yeah, I think we all think we're going to escape it, don't we?
Yeah.
But funny enough, yesterday I got some pains by my heart, and I thought, oh God, I hope I'm not going to have a heart attack. But that was when I was just laying down on the sun lounger.
Yeah. Well, you can get pains in your body that don't relate to anything significant, just by going out in the garden and cutting the grass this afternoon and using muscles you haven't used for a week. You'll ache the next day.
Yeah.
I found that when I played my son at FIFA on PlayStation Saturday night. He got this beanbag in his room, so I slumped into this beanbag and played him at FIFA for an hour or so. And the next day, all my ribs ached.
Really?
Yeah, just the position I was in, obviously.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and we got quite excited because we both like to win, you see.
I can't play those games.
No.
I can't get me coordination right to tap the right buttons.
No, I might notice my thumb hurts. That must be repetitive injury to my thumb on one of the controllers, I reckon.
Yeah.
I wish I knew what all the controllers did because I could play really well then. But still, so we're putting diet down to it does play a role in men's mental health, I guess.
Yeah.
Some people, when they're worried about things, they turn to smoking or they turn to eating, don't they?
Yeah, but that's stress.
Yeah,
I think.
So it's mental health, though, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Stress is mental health.
Yeah.
That didn't exist in the 70s, stress.
I know. No, it's a new thing, isn't it, nowadays?
I know we all had it, but you went to the doctor and he never mentioned stress.
No.
Or anything like that.
No, it's a...
Strange.
We used to get on with it.
Strange the world we live in.
I know.
This is a good one, fitness and exercise.
Is it?
Featuring workout routines tailored for men.
Oh,
the importance of strength training and tips for staying motivated.
I'm worn out already just listening. Well, you do a lot of walking, don't you?
I do a lot of walking.
And that's planned.
That is planned. I don't do any gym work anymore. Strength training is important, I know, and probably should do some more of that. But I'm hoping the gardening will take care of that. Now I've got a garden to play in. You can build exercise into your day, can't you? That's what my cardiologist said.
Yeah.
You don't have to go into a gym for an hour and bust a gut, as they say. You can build it into the day. So if you go to the supermarket, you don't park your car right next to the entrance. You park it a bit further away, so you have to walk to the entrance. You walk around the supermarket, you carry the bags back to the car. So you can build exercise into your day. I know. I know it is.
I've got a blue badge.
I know, but... you build the exercise into your day and you're doing it without realising it then, rather than trying to say, all right, I've got to set 20 minutes of side for exercise, 20 minutes here for exercise.
Oh, God, no.
You just don't, unless you're a fitness fanatic.
Well, when I was in hospital, they said even cleaning your teeth, you can do exercises. You're at the sink cleaning your teeth, you can bend your knees, you can stretch. There's numerous exercises that you can do. And, I thought that was quite good, but I've come home since I haven't done any of them. But
no, I tried that once, but I ended up with toothpaste all over the bathroom. So that didn't work for me, that one.
And then
really.
Wendy moaned at you.
Yeah, it looked as if I'd pebble dashed the bathroom. But heart health, this is a conversation. Conversation about cardiovascular health, risk factors and preventive measures men can take. So again, we're talking about exercise, diet,
not eating fatty foods.
Cheese, butter, all that sort of stuff. And also...
Potatoes.
Mr. Potato Man. Diet is one important factor. Exercise
I think diet is the biggest.
Factor. Smoking and alcohol pays quite a risk in heart disease. And smoking is a big no-no. I mean, when I've gone for my checkups every year, the first question they always ask me is, do you smoke? And I say no. And you can see their face change as if, well done for not smoking. And I get a feeling that if I'd have said, yes, I do smoke, they would have thought, well, you deserve it then.
Yeah.
So there is this feeling against smokers in the health service these days, I think.
It's another thing we've got in common. Neither of us smoke.
No, we don't smoke.
And neither of us drink.
No.
So...
strange. So... if you can cut out the smoking, I think that's a huge, huge benefit for
staying healthy.
But then again, I know my mother, because she suffered from depression, she used to smoke for her nerves and anxiety. She suffered from that.
My mum smoked for England. Bless her.
We used to have my aunt come over and she used to bring my grandmother and my mum, and they were all smokers. And we had a little cottage. And they sat in this room, and when they were visiting, they'd smoke one after the other. And when they left, I tell you what, that's like a fog in there.
I know.
That was horrendous.
Yeah. Well, you think what you was inhaling in?
I was passive smoking then, wasn't I?
Well, my mum used to cook me little cakes, and the kids, when they were younger, they say, have you brought Nan's cakes home? I said, yep. And we used to call them nicotine cakes because she used to cook them in the kitchen. And where did she go and have a smoke? In the kitchen. And then she'd leave the lid off while they're cooling. Yeah. And they'd all stink of cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought you were going to say that she put something in the cakes.
No.
Made them happy cakes.
No.
They do that in Amsterdam, you know. You can buy a happy cake.
My ex-son used to, from one of my previous marriages.
Yeah. Preventative care, discussing the importance of regular checkups, screenings, vaccinations, and they're all crucial to men's health.
Well, we picked up on that last week, didn't we, with the farmers? But as we pointed out in that, it isn't just for farmers. men don't get their checkups like they should do, only when there's something wrong.
Yeah. As you grow older, you do naturally squeak and creak a bit more, don't you? And men do get this sort of balloon that peers around their chest.
And waist.
Yeah. So that's where all the weight seems to go. So.
Well, I've had one of those all my life.
Yeah.
And even when I was slimmer, at 12.5 stone, I still seem to have a bit on my waist, and that really used to annoy me. And they said I've got 2 layers of skin. They did, yeah. Because I had a hernia.
I always said you were thick-skinned.
I went for a hernia, and they put one of the thing that ladies have on when they're pregnant.
Yeah.
And she said, you've got an unusual thickness of skin.
Right.
And I always perhaps think it's that, even when I was slimmer. But now, when I'm older, it really bulges.
I have heard it all now, really,
There's lots of things you don't know about.
I can't lose this belly fat because I've got an extra thickness of skin.
Yeah, that is fact.
That is fact.
That is fact.
If anybody else has got an extra layer of skin, let us know, please.
Some people might have more.
Checkups. If your body is telling you something, get a checkup.
Yeah.
Just for peace of mind, because that creates anxiety.
Or get a checkup before your body tells you something. Make a time when...
You should have checkups anyway, but when I was 40, I had a checkup because I was running a business and I had to have health insurance. And the doctor said to me, funny things start to happen when you reach 40. And I thought, oh, right, so I've got that to look forward to, haven't I? And then I had a heart attack later.
I was just going to say, you hadn't had your heart attacks then?
No. So as you get older, keep an eye on your body. If it doesn't feel right, get it checked out.
Yeah.
That's what they're there for.
Yes.
Bang the doctor's door down. Don't matter if you're wasting their time. You're putting your mind at
rest.
rest.
Ring up 20 times a day to get an appointment.
That's enough to give you anxiety.
I know.
And stress.
I think the worst thing is that you are caller number 2. And then it goes, suddenly the phone cuts off. You've got to go through the system again.
Perhaps if they actually answered the phone immediately, there'd be less stress in the world, especially in the UK, less people in the hospitals. Perhaps they should look at that. Or
you just turn up the doctor and get a ticket, and it's your turn.
I mean, nowadays you have to fill in these e-forms, don't you?
Ours don't.
Don't you?
No.
You do on ours. I mean, I sometimes wonder how the elderly cope with that.
Yeah, we just ring up and get on in the system.
So I think we're nailing this one by saying, as you get older, if your body feels it's telling you something, then get a checkup.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hide.
Defo.
Don't hide.
Defo.
Don't hide in the shade.
No.
Now, this is one for you.
Go on.
Hormonal changes, exploring topics like testosterone, and I said that quite easily.
You did.
Testosterone levels and how they affect mood, energy, and overall health. Well, supposedly, I am led to believe that your testosterone levels lower as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
So they naturally change your mood and energy levels. That's why you feel tireder.
Right.
As you get older, your testosterone level.
You definitely, yeah. I mean, for the people who are younger listening to this, you've got it to come. You definitely will feel tired more when you get older, won't you? I mean, do you?
Yeah, I think so. Do you have an afternoon nap?
No, Linny says I should do, but I don't.
I'm fighting that. I don't want to get into an afternoon nap.
No. I have a rest. I sit down and have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
Or coffee or whatever. But no, I don't actually officially have a nap. I might have one in the evening.
I do sometimes seem to hit a wall about 5, 6 o'clock for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll sort of work through that wall and come out the other side. So I don't know what that's all about. Perhaps that's saying you need a nap or something at that time, or should have had one. But now I'm going to fight that one as long as I can, I think.
Some people would have a nap, wouldn't they? So,
Aging and longevity. Tips on healthy aging, managing chronic conditions and maintaining quality of life as men get older.
Well, I think that a lot of that comes down to fitness again. Look, there's a lady on our TV, Angela Rippon.
Yeah.
I mean, look at her. She was on that dancing program, Strictly. Fit as a fiddle. I mean, she's well over 80, isn't she?
Yeah.
But she's kept fit all her life by doing exercise and things like that. And she's even doing the splits on a TV advert at the moment. I know that could be somebody else and they could have generated her face on it, but it looks like her. But she's a prime example of staying fit, isn't she?
Yeah, we come back to if you don't use it, you lose it again.
Yeah.
I'm afraid. And as one of the talkers at our local Sporting Memories Club said, he was an ex-Olympian, balance is important because so many people in the elderly years go downhill after a major fall. So keeping your balance, practicing balance is quite important. And I do try that.
Do you?
I do try and balance. I stand on one foot sometimes when I'm...
Like a stork?
Yeah, like a stork.
Right, kid. Mr. Miyagi.
Now, after that, I do try and improve my balance because I think, you've got to take heed at some of these bits of advice.
Yeah.
Aging and longevity tips. Does that mean oil of Ulay?
I don't know.
On the face?
Yeah, could do.
You're going to let yourself go, you said?
Yeah. Well, I might do. I might not.
I thought you'd let yourself go a long time ago.
Thank you.
Substance abuse, addressing the impact of alcohol, tobacco, drugs on men's health, and discussing recovery and support options.
Well, we spoke a bit about that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think we've touched on that subject.
Yeah.
We don't need to drive that into people's brains, do we? You know, if you're smoking or you're drinking excessively, then if you cut that down, that's going to help.
Yeah.
Finally...
It's not finally. We've got some more topics.
Well, finally, I've got life balance. Strategies for managing stress related to work, family and personal life, emphasising the importance of self-care. I've got 2 more topics. Yeah. So we've touched on stress, haven't we?
Yeah.
Related to work? Well, you're a long time dead. So you spend a third of your life asleep. You spend a third or more of your life at work. Surely...
You are one for facts and figures, aren't you?
Yeah, well...
Yeah. Where'd you find these?
I don't make them up. So, you only get a third of your life doing the things you want to do. So I think work, it's easy to say, but not less work you do, but the less stress you get from work is going to only help you.
Well, I keep telling Linny off about this, about working so much, and she's now finally agreed that, finishing on a Friday at 3 o'clock is a good idea. Then it gives her Saturday and Sunday off and a bit of Friday. So I think work-life balance is very, very important with all this.
And especially as we knock on in years, because, while you've got, in inverted commas, health and strength, because we look at it as if we have, don't we? We both live our lives as much as we can. You've got to start enjoying your life.
Yeah.
While you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, look at us the other day. We went for the day out, didn't we?
Oh,
to Ipswich Town Football Club.
We don't care. That was stressful.
No, we went behind the scenes in the dressing rooms and by the side of the pitch, and that was just a lovely... It took our minds off of everything, didn't it?
It does. Just little days out like that and things that can make your life a little bit more enjoyable. Sleep health. The significance of quality sleep and its impact on mental health and physical health, along with tips for improving sleep habits.
So how long should we sleep for?
Between 7 and 9 hours.
Is it?
That's what they suggest. I can get away on 5 or 6.
I can. Oh, not 5, but 6 I can.
Now, I'm going to get shot down at home on that because I'm not very brisk in the mornings. And the trouble is, I could sleep in. I don't have this wake up and get up attitude. I have this wake up and lay there attitude.
Yeah, you did the other day when I come round, when you had to get you up.
Yeah. But I do get enough sleep, I think.
Well, you're like me, you go to bed late.
I do go to bed late.
And then I find I can sleep better.
Yeah.
And sometimes I set an alarm, sometimes I don't. Do you set an alarm?
No.
See, I do.
Wendy's my alarm.
Yeah.
Tea's on the side. That's what wakes me up.
See, 8:30 in the summer I'll wake up, but in the winter I set it for 9.
Your body does have a clock.
I know.
It does have a clock. So if you wanted to adjust your sleep pattern to, say, 11 to 7, rather than 1 till 9, you can do that, but it takes time. You have to build up slowly. You have to change your sleep clock.
Well, I think since I've been retired, I think my body clock more or less is, I mean, on the other night, we had a really, really, really late night. We went to bed at 4:30 in the morning. We was up watching videos and chatting away and things like that. But at 8:30, I woke up, which is the time I normally wake up.
Yeah.
I went back to sleep again and got up at 11. But no, that was, I think your body does set yourself to wake up at a certain time.
It does. It's strange because I have this scenario with my body. If I have to get up at a particular time, if I'm there on my own, for argument's sake, and I have to get up at 7 because we're going somewhere, I always wake up at 7.
And you don't set an alarm for that?
No.
Blimey, I couldn't go to sleep knowing I won't get up.
Yeah.
Because I just would miss it. It's like Linny's gone to work today, put the alarm on for 8:30. I didn't even hear her go.
Right.
And she's got an alarm that goes off outside our door.
Yeah.
And I never heard it and never heard her get up. Nothing.
Right.
So.
But you were obviously deep sleeping.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Probably snoring, she'll tell me.
Improving your sleep habits. Well, what's that? What's that mean? I suppose that's going to bed at a regular time.
Yeah.
Getting up at a regular time. Not eating anything before bed. Not drinking coffee at night.
Yeah, coffee keeps you awake, doesn't it?
Supposedly. So that's the only thing I can put down to improving sleeping habits. Right, let's move on to the last one. Community and support, highlighting the importance of social connections and support networks for men's overall health and well-being. Well, we typically talked about this last week with the farmer community. Getting that information out there is not as easy as you think it is.
No.
But community support is very important. So I can put that down to men talking about their health, really, because they don't. If they talk more about their health, then perhaps that would spread. We found out that people living in rural community had a more intense diagnosis of cancer, for argument's sake. They were further along the cancer line than those who lived in a urban community.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot more stage 4 diagnosis in rural communities because they don't get these checks or haven't got access to doctor surgeries or have to travel in a car, because they're living in remote locations.
It's just a thing you can't urge enough, isn't it, really?
Or living busy lifestyles.
Yeah.
Or working hard on the farm, on the land. They get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to look after their cattle and their livestock, just when the doctor surgeries are opening up. And they just don't seem to have the time to get to those locations.
I sometimes hear next door get up really early in the morning, and she, in harvest time, she wasn't getting home till gone 10 o'clock at night, so you think, what do you want to do then? Go to sleep because you've got to get up by 4 o'clock again.
Well, yeah, and what are they doing? They're probably getting these aches and pains and things that should be being tested for, and they're just putting them off because their hectic daily life won't let them go. So important, if your body's telling you something, get it checked out.
Yes, that's the most important thing of all this. Get checked out.
That's the end of my list anyway.
I think there's some interesting topics to discuss there, which we've hit on, and I'm sure other people might have other ideas. And if you do, put them on our website and things like that. There's a thing where you can tell us, because you might have different opinions to us.
I wish we knew a little bit more about it. I think that's education in these scenarios. And
well, these are just our opinions, aren't they, Pat?
Just our opinions and our experiences, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, have we got a joke of the week this week?
Well, I'll tell you what, listeners, I hope you're not going to be disappointed, but I haven't got a joke of the week.
Oh.
But.
Great.
But I've got something that's quite interesting that I saw, and things your mother used to say.
Now, this will probably only relate to people in the UK, I guess. I don't know whether the Americans have.
I think they would have things that their mothers used to say years ago.
Yeah, they'd be different. That'd be interesting.
It's not things mothers say nowadays. These are just things that I saw, and I thought, wow, my mum used to say that. My mum used to say that. My mum. So I thought, I'm just going to share them with everybody.
Okay, go on then.
And perhaps when I mention them, you might explain them.
I'll try.
Were you born in a barn?
Leaving the door open again, hey?
Yeah, yep. Leaving the door open.
That's when you leave a door open.
Move away from the telly. You'll get square eyes.
That's an old one. That's from the 70s.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
So
yep, that's a good old wives' tale.
Eat your crusts, you'll get curly hair.
Yeah.
There's no such word as can't.
That's right. That's what I still use that one today with my grandchildren.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Who's she? The cat's mother?
That comes from a bit of banter in the streets, that does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When they're talking about gossip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did your last slave die of?
Yeah, that's Wendy uses that on me a lot.
Really? Say pardon, not what?
Mm-hmm.
I've told you 1,000 times. I don't know how they counted them.
I heard a different version of that.
Go on.
I've told you 1,000 times not to exaggerate.
I want never gets.
Yeah.
Because I said so. Mm. See, that's a mother with a bit of authority there.
That is, yeah.
Back in my day.
Cool. Yeah, I'll use that one.
What's for dinner, Mum? Shit sugared. My mum actually used to say that.
Did she?
Yeah. When I used to say, what's for dinner? If your mate asked you to jump off a cliff, would you? And lastly, I don't know what this means, really. You'll take somebody's eyes out with that.
Oh, right. Okay. Fair enough. So, what about eat all your carrots because that'll help you see in the dark? Have you heard that one?
Yes.
That's a good one. My dad used to say, instead of saying, I'm only telling you, he used to say, between me, you and the gatepost.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's another one.
And when we used to go on holiday, we used to walk along the seafront at Great Yarmouth. Mm-hmm. And if he saw somebody walking with bowed legs, you know.
I know what you're going to say.
He'd say, he wouldn't stop a pig in the passage.
My mum used to say that one as well.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good old sayings out there.
They don't say them nowadays.
If you've got any, perhaps you'll send them to us because that'd be great to hear those.
Let's bring them back, all these old sayings.
Let's bring them all back, yeah. Yeah.
But then we're living in the past.
Enough to freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
Yes. Who did you tell that to? Lee Mack.
Lee Mack, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He hadn't heard that, had he?
Yeah.
Or the origin of it.
Anyway, it's brought us to the end again, Martin.
It has, mate. Yeah, I enjoyed that, talking about different topics and things. And as I say, these are completely our opinions, aren't they?
Our opinions. And no medical advice there at all. But do get yourselves checked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doctor.
Aren't you?
No. No, I'm not a doctor.
That surprised me. You're a statistician, though, aren't you? With all your facts.
I like my facts and figures.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time for a bit of a coffee cake with walnuts now.
I think so.
I'll say thanks very much for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
And we'll see you next week with the birds and the bees in this lovely, bright summer garden.
Yeah. See you, everybody.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
You've been listening to the Who's Tom and Dick podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers and Patrick Mortimer. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite streaming platform. New episodes are available every Friday. Thanks for tuning in.